Okay, guys, welcome back to Let's Get Freaky podcast. I am very excited to welcome back to the show the fantastic Andy D. Codes. How are you, sir?
Hello, thank you for having me back.
Welcome back, man.
I know it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, saying that
Well,
was only like 2 weeks ago.
yeah, a
You
couple of
couldn't
weeks
mind,
ago.
didn't you?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I,
since I did the first one, it feels a lifetime away.
it does, man. I don't know about you, but when you're doing these shows and stuff, the weeks they fly by, but it
Yeah.
feels like ages ago. Like you can talk to someone 2 weeks ago and it feels like 2 months ago or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah, totally.
And I came on your show a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, it'd be 2 weeks this week, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and that was good fun, man.
Yeah, that was a good one. I did enjoy that. And
Yeah.
everyone was asking for you to come on your own, so we need to
Oh,
sort that out.
oh man, I'm
That,
up for that
that would be a good one.
for sure. Let's do it. Yeah,
Definitely. Just have a
anytime,
laugh.
man.
Big bromance going on.
That's it. That'll be fun, man. Anytime.
Yeah, definitely.
So, since the last time we spoke on
Yeah,
Let's Get Freaky, have you had any paranormal experiences?
absolutely nothing.
Oh man.
Not. I did. Oh, tell a lie. There's a gym. I was telling you about that gym that I was going investigating, wasn't I?
Oh yeah, yeah,
So we went. There's four of us that went down. Got the keys. Set up with the camera, night vision camera, IR lights. Set up a couple of EMF meters. Nothing. Nothing. Not just nothing whatsoever on that. So I thought, right, I'll try because I've never done a Ouija board.
no,
Kind of what I'm interested in doing one,
they freak me out, man.
but because of all the bad stuff that comes with it, it's always dissuading me from actually doing it. And the fact that Missy said you were not having one of them in the house, if that comes in, you
Yeah,
were both leaving.
that's
So,
definitely no then.
but I
Once the
said,
missus says it, that's it.
yeah, I said, can I just get one and put it up on the wall with everything else? She's like, not a chance. So
I
yeah,
won't use it. I swear, it's just
yeah.
decorations.
But then I'd be so tempted to use it. Just have a
Yeah,
quick blast.
yeah.
That'd be it, never be seen again. Go for a portal.
I feel like you're opening doors and stuff without those things, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like them.
No. So yeah, so back to the gym anyway. Next best thing, pendulum. So I got a pendulum. So it's like I think it's copper. I can show you if you want. Here we go. So that's all it is.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like a upside down Christmas tree.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
Right. So the good thing about it, I know people can't see, but you can. It's got a little ball at the top. So if
Yeah.
I can spin that round and you can see it's not moving,
Yeah.
but it's like a little sleeve at the top of the chain. So when I turn it, it's not doing it. It moves a little bit,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
just because of the motion, but other than that, nothing. Oh, excuse me. So sat in the middle of the floor, thought, right, sit down, get comfy like you do at school.
Yeah.
Sat on the mats and what have you. So sat there and I just thought, right, I'll see if there's any spirits or anything there with us. So I start talking. And I used to use it quite a lot just for I've got a chart just for like communicating with these certain spirits.
Yeah.
And I hadn't done it for quite a while because I've been busy doing like sorting other stuff out. Thought, right, I took it with me. I didn't take the chart with me, but I didn't need to. So I confirmed north south was yes, east west no, circle anti-clockwise was don't know or maybe, and they're really the only three you need to do. And for me, the pendulum is kind of the next best thing to a Ouija board, but without you've not got the plantif, and it's kind of using more your own energy towards it. So that's my connection to the other side, so to speak.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I started asking these questions, and it only whenever I do it normally, it only moves like that, right? About not even an inch each
So there's
time.
not a lot of movement.
There's not a lot of movement. So I'm doing this. The video's on YouTube and the audio podcast is on there as well. So I set up a digital recorder while I was asking the questions in case it picks anything up. So I'm asking the questions, recorder's going, and then it starts swinging. Do you know, like the kid you don't like at school gets on a swing and you push him so he can't get off? It was like that. It was like
Oh,
proper
wow.
going for it.
Yeah.
You can see how I'm sat. I'm like hunched over. I've got, I've got my arm like that, and the arm's bent a bit like the way you position you hold when you're doing arm wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Very similar to that, but I'm leant forward to get like me. I don't know, it sounds stupid, but to get my body behind it,
Yeah.
or to like close the energy, and I'm holding it. So I'm asking these questions, and it's swinging. I thought, right, I found a technique of asking certain questions to get more of a yes or no answer from. So ask a couple of questions, and then it starts moving proper, like I said, proper moving. And then I thought, right, because it keeps doing yes, I'm going to ask it ones that I know the answers are going to be no. They're like ridiculous questions. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So apparently, I was communicating with one of two sisters that drowned along with the parents in this lake that used to be in this part of Northampton. I still need to research to see if there was one near or nearby. So didn't get the name, and I want to go back and then do a second part to it. But anyway, so I'm asking these questions and found out they were passing through Northampton. They live North London. So it's like one of the, are you from Northampton? No. So that was a no. Are you passing through? Yes. And that's when this is when it's like really swinging. So
Right.
it's like, are you from North London? And it's going, yes. So right, I'll do all the directions. Are you from East London? And it's swinging like this, right? That's how it was going. You could
So,
see
yeah.
it like a pendulum,
Yeah.
like on a grandfather clock sort of pendulum. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And then for it to go from that, right? For me to
Wow.
stop that, I'd have to grab it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is swinging like that. Then all of a sudden it just starts, it pulls down to a stop,
Yeah.
which I can't physically do. And it feels like something's tugging on it. I don't know if
Wow.
it felt a bit magnetic, like some sort of force pulling on it. So it'd be swinging north south, and then all of a sudden it'd stop down to nothing, and then slowly it'd start going
Wow.
for the no.
Wow, man.
So I did. Are you from north? No.
That's
Yes. Are you from south? No. Are you from east? No. Are you from west? No. Are you from north? And then it'd stop, change direction. Yes.
what, and you'd
So
feel
I'd
that
ask it.
again.
Yeah. Exactly same thing. So I'd ask it
Wow.
again. Another question. So I'll give it three different towns in North London, and it was yes on all of them. Are you in the location? Are you from? Is it one of them towns that I've just mentioned that you're buried at? Yes. Then I got an image of in my head of this cemetery. So it was in Enfield, and the cemetery I got was on the A10. Now I don't know whether that was me thinking about that, putting that thought there, because I kind of know that that cemetery's there anyway, or it was part of what was going on.
Yeah.
Sorry, an ambulance just shot past.
That's
Had his sirens going.
I heard
Sorry, I
it. I
just
called
muted the mic.
it.
Sorry, bit of
That's
editing for
cool.
you.
No worries, man.
So I was asking these that positive no questions just so it changed, and you could see how quick it was changing direction. And so then after we'd done it, I'm sat there and I'm swinging it, and it's like I was waiting for it to stop so I could change direction. It's like we got to like 30, 40 seconds, and it was only just starting to slow down
Wow,
without me
man.
grabbing the chain either with the finger of foam or my other hand.
Yeah.
And it was
That's
just,
mad, man.
it was mad. Don't think when we did the playback on the digital recorder, it sounded like there's running water and like a couple of voices in the background. But when I uploaded it onto the PC, it cancelled that out. So whether the transfer from the recorder to the computer got rid of the background noise, it might have thought it was background noise and got rid of that, or it is actual EMF because I've still got it on the digital recorder as well. So
Wow.
I don't know if it was something on it or it's just interference
Uh,
or the
And
computers
was
like
you hearing
deemed it.
those noises as you were doing the experiment?
Not not physically, not while I was doing it. It wasn't until we was listening back afterwards. But you
Wow.
can, for me, on the digital recorder, you can hear a female voice when I'm asking certain questions. Can't make out what's being said.
Wow.
So, but you'd have to listen to the actual recorder to.
And the location that you was at, it had there was you say there was two girls that died there, supposedly?
Apparently, yeah, because I was going through all the different types of death. It's like, was it a car accident? No. Was it pre-cars? Yes. So it's like,
Wow.
right, what other things could it have been? I'm guessing it's like at the latest, it's going to be like the late 1800s. Because I know the cars started around the early 1900s, didn't they? So I
Yeah.
think, right, so if it's like 1880, 1870, or even earlier than that. So I was just going through different types. Sounds sick,
Yeah.
but different types of
Nice.
dying. And I got to drowning, and it got to the point where I'd asked, was it intentional or was it an accident? Apparently, it was intentional. That was the answer that I got. So my next
Wow.
thing now is to go back, do it again, ask more detailed questions, and then find out if it is that cemetery. Then drive down to London and have a look around the cemetery and see if I can.
Yeah.
And if I go there and find them, I will follow my ass. I'm telling you.
Yeah, man, that'd be amazing.
Or I forget there, but I'm expecting to go there and not find anything because obviously I don't want to get my hopes up, and
Because
because you don't know what's going on.
yeah, you said you got an image in your head of a graveyard.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
I know there's a certain part where you come off the M25 and you turn. I don't know what direction is, but you turn right and you go down the A10. And you're going down the A10 towards Enfield,
yeah,
and you like it's kind of near like Waltham Abbey type area. And if you do a left, you go to Ware and like that part, like going out in the sticks. And I know there's a cemetery just down there. There used to be, I don't know if it's still there, like a used car dealership, and it's either next to it or just after. And I just got that in my head. But because I used to, with the job I'm doing now and the job previous, I used to do a lot of driving all over London, like all over the south and southeast of England.
yeah.
So I know a lot of different areas and cemeteries in that area, but that one just stood out. And I asked it, was it that one
Interesting.
on the A10? And it said, yeah. I don't know
Wow.
if it is. I'm not 100% convinced it's correct, but once I get time to go back and then find out if I get any more positive answers, I'm going to have a drive down to London and see what's what.
Yeah, man. That's
Fingers
quite a big
crossed.
thing then. That's quite a big thing since we last spoke. That's
Yeah,
cool.
I said I've not done it.
That's pretty impressive, man. So I've got to
Yeah,
say, when you're swinging the pendulum, where you're holding it and it's
yeah,
moving, and you can actually feel something pulling it.
yeah. I literally, so it's like a little globe at the top.
Yeah,
I'll hold it as close as I can without it to start. See how you can see the holes? It's like weaved
yeah,
brass or copper. And you've got like the eye at the top. But like I said, I can, so hard to say, I can spin that round. So you
yeah,
can see me spin it, but I'm holding the chain.
yeah,
So you can see it's not attached. It's like a little sleeve. So all I do, I hold it, kink my wrist a bit. So it's my arm's not over it like that. Because if you do it that way, you can make it swing by using your shoulder.
yeah,
If
yeah,
I do it that way, my arm's parallel to the
yeah,
chain.
yeah,
So if I'm going to move it, you're going to see, like now, you can see me finger and thumb moving
yeah,
it.
yeah.
If I just hold it like that and it starts swinging,
But that's mad. You saw it stop and then see the direction
yeah,
change.
yeah. And the other people that were there, they're two of them are ones that come out regular when I go out investigating, and the other one's the girl's mum. And all three of them were like, I've seen pendulums move, but not to that extent.
Yeah, that's mad.
And I was
And
like,
you,
"Ugh."
could you feel a presence around you in
Man,
that
I did
moment?
nothing. But I think I was too, what's the word? In like in what was going on with me asking the questions. I was
Yeah,
so into that, I wasn't concentrating on what was going on around me. There could have been everything swinging about and
yeah,
dogs and everything. I wouldn't have seen them because I'm
yeah.
literally sat like that, head down.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
And is this video on YouTube now? Can people go
Yeah.
and
So
watch
the
it now?
video's on YouTube. It is called. Sorry, one moment. Uh, I can never remember anything.
Same, man.
So, we've got. So I did it in two parts, part one and part two. Live investigation at the local gym, and then it's just called Pendulum EVP session.
Okay.
2 weeks ago.
Interesting,
Seems a
man.
lot longer than that.
Yeah.
It was the Saturday after. It was the Saturday after you was on. That's when it
Oh,
was.
okay. Oh, okay.
Literally the day after.
Cool, man. That's a cool experience. When you're out investigating,
Yeah, of
do you get do you get scared in that situation? Does
course
it
I do.
freak you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, if they say they don't get scared, then there's either something up with them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Crazy.
I don't know. Yeah, or they just they're not. I don't know.
Yeah.
You cannot not get scared. I don't think.
Yeah.
'Cause you don't know what you're dealing with. If you bump into another person, you can weigh up the situation, can't you? But if
Yeah.
you've got an invisible energy, what are you going to do? You
That
can't
you can't
hit it. You
control.
can't hit
Yeah.
it with a stick.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
going to
You,
be swinging upside down from your feet in a tree before
yeah.
you know it.
Yeah,
So,
man. Yeah,
yeah,
it's scary stuff. So interesting though, man.
it is. I do enjoy it. I do
Yeah.
miss going out investigating and that, but we just not. I've not had the time. We've not had the weather, and
Yeah.
that's it, really.
Well, summer's coming, so
Yes.
we can get
Yeah.
out some more.
Yeah.
Awesome
I,
stuff, man.
yeah. I have got a special one lined up on the 27th of October for Halloween. That's going to be a live
Nice.
investigation. I'm not sure where yet, but most probably in the north of England.
Awesome, man.
So fingers
Well, we'll
crossed.
keep our eyes out on that for sure.
Yeah, so that should be good. And
Awesome stuff. So last time we spoke, we ended the show on your encounter, which was absolutely amazing with a pterodactyl.
yeah,
Now,
yeah,
this is something that's fascinated me for years because so many people have seen these creatures
yep,
all around the world.
yeah.
Um,
I
yours,
didn't even know what I was looking at. I thought it was a dragon.
yeah,
Joe, you can't believe what you're seeing.
yeah.
It was one of them moments.
Was it definitely a pterodactyl shape, or was it like,
100%. This is what I've seen loads of weird, wonderful, creepy, messed up stuff, but this one was 100%.
yeah,
Once I got the image of what it was, because I was just convinced I'd seen a dragon. Something in the sky, long, what looked like a long neck, wings, then a tail with a diamond bit at the end. It's a dragon.
yeah,
Dragons don't exist. It just didn't make any sense. But then I found an image, it's on Google or Facebook or whatever, and it's like I seen it and I had to sit down. Do you know when you like it's
yeah,
like you're in that much shot, you fall backwards.
yeah,
It
yeah,
was one of
yeah,
them. It's like, but I'm just smiling and laughing to myself
yeah? It's
because
amazing,
it was
man.
that moment of realization what it is I was looking at.
Yeah, I would absolutely
Changed.
love to see that.
But it's like I had my phone in my hand. Not once did I think of holding it up, taking a photo, filming it.
Yeah, no, you don't.
Nothing.
You don't
Nothing
know.
at all.
Yeah,
So I'll give you the full story to this. It's not long, but it would just give you an idea of how it happened. So where I used to live, this is a house with all the weird stuff with the shadow people and the apparitions and the growl. Did I tell you about the growling outside the window as well last time?
I don't know if you did. We'll have to get.
Tell you.
We'll get
I'll
back
tell you
into
about
that.
that in a bit.
I'm writing that down. Growling at the window.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, because this was what I was saying about UFOs and just weird stuff going on all the time. So I was in the back garden, and the back of the house is taller than the front, so it's not your typical A-frame roof.
Yeah.
It's like a lean-to. So the back was probably about, I'd say, 10, 12 foot higher than the front. So we stood in the back garden at a certain point. Wasn't a big garden. The way the fence was in the shed and the trees, in a certain part of it, probably about 3, 4 foot square, you could block out all artificial lighting. So I'm stood there and I'm looking out the back, and I'm just watching stars dancing about and what have you, as you do. And I thought, oh, it's getting late. It was summer, but it was getting a bit chilly. But I'll go back in now. There's not really a lot happening. So I turn round. So I'm walking back towards the house. For some reason, I just look up to my right, say like 2 o'clock. And I just seen someone come from like into my line of sight and just watched it until it couldn't see it anymore.
Wow.
And so it was obviously it was a clear sky. You could see all the stars and that. That's how I could work out the shape of it. I think if it had been cloudy, it could have been behind the clouds, or I wouldn't have seen it because there's no lights, obviously the stars and all that. I'm looking at, it was like a really dark tan brown colour. And it did not fly off course. It was like someone was pulling it on a line, like a kite. Someone actually said to me, was it a kite? So I said, well, if it was a kite, a really long piece of string,
Yeah.
and it'd be flying a kite at night.
Exactly. Yeah.
I watched it travel probably about half a mile before I couldn't see it.
Wow. Yeah, that's quite a long way.
Yeah. So, and I just seen like the head, and then you got like it slims down to the neck. And the main thing that got me was the wings. It's like giant bat wings. So you've got the arch at the top, and then you got like the hands, is it all right if it's hands or fingers at the top before it then curves round again, comes to a point at the bottom. Like that bat.
Yeah.
You got them at the top.
Yeah.
See where it's got two curves at the bottom, three curves at the bottom. This was just 1, 2.
Okay. Yeah.
So it didn't have the three like a bat does.
So it wasn't a giant bat. It's another way you can, because we've got them out there as well.
Yeah. Oh, this was like, it was 16. I'd say about a 16-foot wingspan and about 24 foot from nose to tail.
Wow. So this thing was big.
It was big. Yeah. And I reckon it was flying at around 100 and just between 100 and 150 foot, but nearer to 100.
Wow, man.
And didn't fly off course. Didn't make any sound. Didn't turn. It was just there, and it's just straight line. Didn't flap its wings. Its tail didn't move. And that's why I thought, the first thing I thought, is it a drone? Could it be a drone? Because this is back when drones were only just really coming out for the public. And I thought, well, it could be. It could be like a military drone they've put a pterodactyl outfit on. I don't.
Yeah.
You know, when you're just trying to think what it could be.
Yeah.
And it's like nothing. And
wow, man.
So I went straight in on the computer, on the TV, YouTube, just dragon, brown flying thing, putting all sorts in. This was about 11 o'clock at night. I was on the computer till about 4 in the morning. I thought, I've got to get some sleep. I don't think I was working at the time. And couldn't find anything. And then when you start searching something, and when you see something like that, for some reason, you kind of forget about it.
Yeah.
it goes from your mind, and then I start searching other stuff, and then God knows what I was searching, and then I completely forgot about it until the day I went on. Is about roughly about 2 years later. I went on the computer, and someone had put a post up on. Yeah, it was Facebook. Someone had put a post up saying, image of. They didn't call it a pterodactyl. Can never remember what term it is used for it. Image of this. I'm like, oh my god, that is what I seen. And then went back onto YouTube. And it's like there weren't so much videos, but just like CGI pictures of drawings. And like that is it. That's what I seen.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was once I started doing this to the level that we're doing now. I was doing a podcast for I don't know if you know Craig Bryant. Does
Okay, yeah,
paranormal Pendle podcast or some so three P's anyway.
yeah.
And I was chatting to him about it, and he goes, it's funny you should say that because he's had a few people tell him that they've seen them, but they don't move the wings. They just get into a thermal drift.
They sort of glide.
And that's it, and just go. And
Wow.
I knew nothing about that at that time.
And that's how you saw it, sort
And
of
that's
in that.
exactly how I seen
Yeah.
it.
Wow, man.
And that was it. And I said I had my phone in my hand. Didn't even consider taking a photo.
Yeah, no, you don't. When you see something that you can't explain, it's the last thing. I only know that because when I've seen like UFOs,
Yeah.
because I've seen things in the sky that I can't work out what they are, and I'm watching it for ages, and then I'm like, oh, I should have took a picture of that, and it's
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
But so you just don't think of that at the time.
No. But I honestly never ever thought in a million years I'd ever see a prehistoric animal
Yeah,
unless not unless about the prehistoric bit, unless they are living in a different time that's parallel to what we're in now.
yeah, yeah. That's
So
that's the possible. Are you seeing something that's an energy or a ghost of one of these creatures? Like that's a
yeah,
possibility. If we're seeing people,
I didn't even think of that.
we're seeing people that are ghosts and stuff, so we could
Yeah,
see creatures,
yeah.
possibly.
Like what do you call it? When it's just like they call them stone recordings, don't they?
Yeah. So it's like a moment in time, like an energy
Yeah, yeah.
that's
And it just keeps repeating itself.
yeah.
But then I've never seen it again afterwards.
Did you look into the area? Does anyone else seen anything in that area?
I've asked people, but the area's a little bit. I'm trying to think of nice words, but I haven't got any. People around the different, shall we say? That is all. I hope no one's listening from around. Some of them are all right, but the
Yeah,
majority of people around there,
if you're from around there, we love you still, but
yeah,
you're weird.
yeah.
And if
You
you've
said it,
seen,
not me. I'm sorry.
yeah, I'll put it out there. I'm sorry, man.
No, no. Yes, I did ask a couple of people, but they're
Yeah,
like, don't even know what you're talking about. That one, that's it. I'm not even
but people,
gonna mention it again.
yeah, yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? But people see these things all around the world. Like there's so many
Yeah,
accounts of them.
yeah,
I would love to see something like that, man. That would be amazing.
yeah,
Bigfoot's the dream, but that I would take that. That would be a cool thing to see.
yeah, definitely. It was, and if I'd have known at the time what that I knew what I was looking at, it'd have been even better.
Yeah. So at the time when you first initially saw it, you wasn't thinking that's a pterodactyl.
No, actually, what am I looking at?
Yeah. And it was big, man. That's
It
big.
was
I mean, that's not
massive. Yeah,
like eagles get big, but I mean, that's
yeah.
really
Oh,
big.
yeah. It won't fit in your car. Put it that way.
Yeah. Have you seen any videos online that are close to this
No,
sort of
only ones that look CGI. The two animated to
yeah.
me. I don't think they're real. I'm not saying they're not real, but I don't think. Yeah,
It's so hard these days because there is good videos out there, but as you say, it's hard to know
I know. It's
because it's
like I
getting
said.
so clever.
So I'll show you. So that is what I seen from pretty much that angle.
Yeah, cool. I did share a picture
Yeah.
The
And then
last
there's that
time you was
one. The
on.
wings were more like that. So
Yeah,
imagine that in the sky.
yeah, man.
But the wings weren't as long as that. They were more like that. It was a little bit shorter. I know people can't
Wow.
see it, but more for your benefit.
I'll share pictures if that's okay. I think I
Yeah,
did
of
share them
course it is.
before. The last time you was on, I did share pictures of it
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
But yeah, man, that would be cool to see that. Have you spoken to anyone else that has seen the same sort of thing?
No, I've spoke to people that them in turn have spoke to other people that have seen that sort of stuff. And it's all pretty much the same sort of story. They
Yeah,
don't move, they fly in a straight line, there's no sound coming from them, nothing.
yeah,
That's it. That's all I've got on that.
yeah,
Sorry,
man. No, mate,
it's
it's amazing.
exciting, but then
It
a
is
little bit of a
amazing.
letdown at the same time.
No, I think that's really cool, man. That's cool. I think that is amazing. So thanks for
Yeah,
sharing that, man.
that that I think that is one of that's up there
Yeah,
with
that's going to be hard to
the
beat.
encounters. Yeah, definitely. Let's see two, and they land at the
Yeah,
top.
man. Yeah, that's awesome. Because I've
Yeah.
spoken to people recently that have seen ter- um, uh, velociraptor type creatures,
Yes.
and I spoke to a guy in the military that says in the Congo that there's known to be these creatures that are still there. They know that they're there.
Yeah.
I just find it fascinating, man.
I know. But to actually see one
Yeah,
and to see it and not it be the last thing on your mind that you thought you was going to see at that time.
yeah, yeah. Oh, if you got something like that on camera, that would be.
I know. Yeah. Because someone asked me, were there any lights on it? I
Mm,
was like, no, because I did think, oh, could it be like some sort of cloaking device? But didn't see any lights. And as it's going across, obviously it was blanking out the stars as it was
yeah.
flying over. So
Wow,
yeah,
that's cool, man. That is cool. Just
yeah,
makes it as it come through a like obviously I'm just trying to think of things
yeah.
like
If
has it
it's yeah,
come through a portal or something and gone?
it's in a time slip or something.
Yeah,
Don't know. But like I said, it didn't fade out or vanish or anything. It just went, and I'm literally on my tiptoes trying to look over the top of the house, like the end of the houses, to see
yeah,
where
I
it
bet,
gone.
man. Yeah.
But
Wow.
complete, just flew out of sight, and that was it.
Yeah, it's cool, man. Can we get into the growling outside? So I don't think we spoke about
Yes.
this before.
Right. So
What was that?
this is at the same house. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff happening at the time. The atmosphere, without going into detail, the atmosphere in the house wasn't that great. So um not wasn't bad all the time, but when it was negative, it was negative. And but this at this particular time, everything was good. So this is really weird. So the houses are built, they're called crofts. And for those that don't know what a croft is, it's 3 or 4 rows of houses with a green in the middle, but there's no vehicular access. The parking's on the outside and you walk in and there's a path all the way around. So that's it. So the my girlfriend at the time was having a shower, and I was sat on the bed, sorting stuff out. I think it was getting ready to go to bed, to be honest. So I'm sat there, and I'm about 2 foot away from the window, and the wind is one of the windows that opens horizontally. The big square ones that you push out from the bottom. You push it out, and it has the little catches on it. Only opens a couple of inches, so it was like that. Sat on the bed, and her eldest daughter came in to get. I think she's getting a school uniform or something ready for the morning. So sat there just having a chat, and then heard this growling, right? But it was right. It was at the window. It wasn't a distance away. I'm on the first floor, right? And I measured the height from the bottom of the window to the ground was, I think it was 12 foot. I think it's either 12 or 13 foot. But at the bottom, there's like you get they have a front garden because you got the path. So it had like a little patch of like bushes and plants. There's a big like well, a cherry tree, but there's a tree with little berries that grew on it. So nothing could physically stand directly under the window. It'd have to stand like 3 or 4 foot back because of all
Yeah.
the plants and what have you. But this growling, it was so I said, and the growling was there,
So it's right outside the window.
right outside, and it was like a proper gutter, and it was over and over. It wasn't someone heavy breathing. It sounded like a really big dog or a bear. What I imagine a bear to sound like.
Yeah.
But it's proper guttural. Do you know where? Oh, it's sounding horrible. You get phlegm in your throat
Yeah.
and you can
Yeah.
hear it. It was like that. And this lasted about a minute, easily a minute. And I was
Wow.
like, and a daughter looked at me. I looked at her. I'm like, go and have a look. I went, go and
Yeah.
have a look. She went, you go and have a look. I went, oh, just stick your head over and see if you can say anything. And she's like, not a chance. I went, no, I mean, I ain't doing that either.
Oh man.
But it was one of them where the window, I thought, if I put my hand out that window,
Yeah.
I just thought my arm will get ripped off or I will get a rip through that window.
Wow. So you got a bad feeling, obviously,
It
from
was, it's the worst noise I've ever, I'm glad I was in my house. If I'd have been walking home,
yeah.
I'd have, well, I'd need clean underwear by the time I got in,
Yeah,
if I
man.
got in.
Wow.
And it was just awful.
So you didn't look.
No, not a chance. I
Like,
wanted to. Do you know when you really want to, but you know it's
yeah.
not it's not your best idea, and it's probably the last idea you're ever gonna have.
Yeah. 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 You
It,
just
it
got a
was
bad vibe. Yeah.
yeah.
No.
And then
Wow.
it stopped. And it's like there are people that live around there with dogs, but this guy's got Jack Russell, and there's another one that they've got like a spaniel type dog. None of the dogs that they had would ever make a growling noise like that. They were more yappy dogs.
Yeah. Yeah.
This was something like a Tibetan Mastiff, at least that size, that
Yeah.
was growling, but it was right under the window. So
Wow.
whatever was, I'd say 2 foot from the bottom of the window at the most.
Yeah. So a dog's not going to be able to be that, not big enough
No,
to.
if it was a dog, yeah, it maybe could have growled the same as that, but it wouldn't have been that loud.
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
like say you're stood outside and you're shouting up at the window, yeah, you can tell how far away it is, as opposed to having your head at the window and shouting in through the window. It was
Yeah.
more that,
Wow, mate. So you could feel it, sort of.
yeah, yeah. I was not
Wow.
having a look. I
Are
wanted
you-
to,
yeah. I mean, are you near any big forests or anything like that?
no, not really. That area of that's Milton Keynes. We had the A5 that ran at the back, which dropped down. There were some trees in that where you got the banking coming up where they built the carriageway at the bottom. But other than that, not there's a bit of like common land, bit of countryside, but not.
Yeah.
A lot of it's quite open.
Okay.
Is that where that is? If you carry on, that takes you into like Buckingham, that
Yeah.
area.
So what do you think this thing was? If you had to
No
put
idea.
a
If I had to put anything on it, I'd say that was a Dogman. If I had to but I'm not saying it is a Dogman. That is what I would expect the noise to be.
yeah. Wow, man. It's so interesting that you say this, right? And I don't know if I've spoke about this on the show before. I probably have, but I don't know if I have.
Right?
So this could be the first time I've said it. But when I first moved to this house,
Yeah.
I used to sit in my front room at night and obviously watch telly quite late, whatever. And I would often hear a growling outside.
Right.
And I used to put it down to being a local dog that, because there is a few guys around here that have got big dogs and they
Yeah.
sometimes just
Yeah.
let them out. So I just put it down to being that, right?
Yeah.
And I used to hear these growling quite a lot. And I would look outside and I wouldn't see anything.
Right.
and I'm on the floor, so I'm quite low down, so I'm in a house, so you couldn't see, so there was no big wall like you had when you had your experience, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I should be able to see if there's a dog there.
Yeah.
Um, and anyway, this happened quite a few times when I first moved to this house, and I didn't think nothing of it, right, until I spoke to a local girl that told me, really nice girl. She told me that there's the Dogman law here,
Ah.
right near where I live. Like there's a they call it the devil dog, and it's literally 5 minutes literally 5 minutes from my house, right?
Wow.
Okay, and so this come back to me, and I'm thinking, oh, I used to hear growling there. After she told me this, and I knew about the devil dog,
Yeah.
I never heard the growling again, which I
Ah.
found weird as well.
Because you
And
know about it.
yeah, but I'm not saying that was definitely a devil
No,
dog.
no. Yeah.
But it was
It's
just
a
weird.
possibility.
It's a
Yeah.
possibility, and you saying that just sort of brought that back to me as
Yeah.
well.
But with you saying about dogs in the area, like I said, people did have dogs, but they never, because it's a craft and it's like a lot of kids play in on the green and what have you.
Yeah,
So people wouldn't let the dogs out, especially not at night. Now and again, you'd see a stray dog running through, and then some bloke could be coming down about 2 minutes later, saying, "Have you seen my dog?"
yeah,
But that'd be it. But if it
yeah,
was that, you would definitely hear someone shouting the name of the dog, or you
yeah,
know, there'd be some
yeah, man.
connection to a human somewhere.
That does sound like because
I only ever heard it that once, and I have to sleep with the window open, regardless of what your weather, anything like that. Cannot have it shut. Hate it. And never ever heard it again. Just that once.
yeah, which I guess is a good thing because it sounds like it wasn't a nice experience.
Yeah. Well, this is a weird thing about this. So you remember me telling you I had a remote viewing reading done by Jessica Jones,
Yeah,
right? Well, this was on one of the locations that I give her was this property, and the other one was my original UFO sighting when I was growing up in Manchester back in the early 80s. So she writes everything down, and in right at the top of the where she does the documents, it's this on the wall. I did printed it and laminated it.
yeah,
So it says, I'm not, no offense to her, but I can't read a lot of the handwriting proper. It says inconsistencies,
yeah.
right? Then it says dog noise, comma, outside house. I
Whoa,
never, I've got goosebumps now. I
yeah,
never ever spoke to her about that incident. Other
wow,
than, right, and this is possible, but just think of the chances. So Jess does God knows how many podcasts a week. Yeah. She does you've seen them, she does them with BMR Rob, she does them with Barry Littleton. So she's doing podcasts all the time. She's also got a kid so that's going to take time with family life, and she's going out doing conferences and everything else. When would she have the time to go through every single video I've ever put on my YouTube channel to find the bit where I'm talking about? I think I've only mentioned it about two, maybe three times
yeah,
on my own podcast.
yeah,
How would she have found that? She would have had to go through, I think at the time it was about 110 videos at 2 hours long. So
yeah,
that's 220 hours worth of video
yeah, man.
just to know that.
Wow.
The chances,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think, are
yeah,
pretty slim.
yeah, yeah, man. For
So
sure.
it says inconsistencies, dog noise, outside house.
Wow. So she picked up on that experience.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
And I didn't mention anything to her about what I was looking for in this reading.
Yeah.
Some stuff's come back and it still doesn't make sense to me. But that's at the top. That was like, oh my god,
Yeah, that's mad, man.
that freaked me out.
Yeah. Wow.
Tell me about
Wow. So what's your thoughts on the dog man? Do you think that it's flesh and
it.
blood, or do you think it's something supernatural?
I think they're all flesh and blood. Because to me, flesh and blood, all it means is it eats, it breathes, it's a living creature. So whether it's on Earth or another dimension or another planet or wherever. I think they are flesh and blood, and they do need to eat, breathe, and sleep and the rest to survive. Where they come from, I don't know. First, I used to think all the underground caves around the world, because you know these caves in the UK that can get you all the way across to as far as Turkey without having
Yeah.
to come up out of the ground. There's
Wow.
hundreds of thousands of miles of cave systems around the world. So, did they live down there? Possible. Are they some sort of hybrid that, I'm not going to say government, but agencies have created? Another possibility. Are they from another, come through portals? It could be all of what I've just said. It could be none of them. It could be something completely different.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they are there. There's too many people witnessing them. I know there are going to be a lot of these encounters that it's mistaken identity, like things I've seen, and you know what I mean. And we're all going to be doing it day after day, seeing stuff that we think is something else. But there's too many positive ID on it for it not to be real. And I remember it always gets me this. Well, you never hear of anyone being killed by him. No, because they've been killed.
Exactly.
How are they going to tell the story?
Yeah. 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 No, for sure.
It's like
It's like the missing 411, isn't it?
yeah,
I mean, a lot of that could be down to
yeah. Because they
Dogman.
say it's like, oh, these people that have had near-death encounters with these dogmen or Sasquatch or whatever. You don't hear of anyone being killed. No, because they've been killed.
Yeah. You're not
Not
going to hear
around
that
to tell
story.
it.
Yeah.
And they just put it down to they've gone missing. We don't know what, and we can't find out. But like you said, the missing 411, it could be.
Yeah. Some of those cases could certainly be
Yeah.
Bigfoot or
I'd say,
Dogman.
yeah. I'd say a percentage of them, a dogman, another percentage Sasquatch, another percentage of portals, possibly
Yeah.
even ET intervention, people that have just fallen and had a really bad accident and got trapped and ended up dying wherever they are. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or they've got lost in a cave system and they ended up dying that way. There's countless possibilities, but I think they are all part of that missing 411. There is not one specific thing
Yeah.
to categorize it with.
Yeah. It's like with the Sasquatch, people say, oh, that obviously most encounters, people are okay because it's a quick glimpse or whatever. But
Yeah.
you're right. If you catch an angry one, these things are powerful enough to take you away and,
Oh yeah.
you
Well,
know,
look at a
you're
silverback
done for.
gorilla.
Yeah.
Look what that can do.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I wouldn't want to walk into one of them in a forest either.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
yeah. But no, yeah, if I was to put anything on that, I'd say it was something to do Dogman, Devil Dog, Hellhound, whatever you want to call it. It
Yeah.
definitely something along them lines.
I find it's so interesting that sort of shook you so much that you didn't even want to look out there.
Wow.
Because that just shows you how powerful this thing was.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've chased shadow people around the house.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this was just, it was a noise I'd never heard before. And I was not risking anything just for them 2 seconds to see something and then never know anything again.
Yeah. Yeah. At that time, was you investigating
No,
Dogman and stuff like that, or
not in the way that I do now. Just sat at the TV or a computer, armchair research, as I
yeah,
like to call it.
yeah, that's what
I
I
sat
am.
watching documentaries, yeah, watching documentaries, YouTube channels. Podcasts weren't really around then because this was like 2012, 2013. So I don't think they weren't about then. I think YouTube hadn't been going that long. That had been going on like 4, 5, maybe 6 years at the most. So
Yeah,
yeah, there wasn't a lot. So it was just whatever you could find.
yeah. Because the
But,
Dogman, that's something. It's quite big now, the Dogman, but it never
well,
used to be.
no, well, that's another thing. At the time, I didn't even know what a dogman was then, and that's why I couldn't put anything to it. That's why I
Yeah,
said bear.
yeah,
At the time, it sounded like a big dog the size of a bear. That was my description of it because I'd never heard of Dogman till about 4 or 5 years ago.
Wow, man. Well, we've got
So
to get into that.
yeah,
Wow, we've got to get into that, man. You just dropped that one in there.
yeah, yeah. But like I said, I'd not. It was like I started listening to podcasts and proper getting into YouTube that people were saying about these dogmen,
Yeah,
bipedal canines, and I'm like, oh. And when people say dogman, I was just thinking toe to neck of a human, head of a dog,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and they've been seen as well, though, haven't they?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So
Yeah, because it seems to be.
that's what I thought Dogman was when I first heard it, and then when people were describing it, it's like more werewolf,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
what we believe is a werewolf.
Because like the Sasquatch, there seems to be different types of these creatures.
Yes.
Some that
Yeah.
are more supernatural, some that are basically like a big wolf.
Yeah.
There seems to be
But then
different.
if you look at it like that, if you have these different types, it's on like different types of humans.
Yeah,
Because what's not to say that ETs are a different type of human, the human-like, humanoid, and they have different abilities than what we do. So why can't you have different types of dogmen or Sasquatch that have
yeah,
different types of abilities?
yeah, man, for sure. Yeah,
It's like fish. There are the fish in the ocean. You've got one that has its headlights up inside, and its eyes are inside its head, and it's
yeah,
completely transparent.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
just stuff like that.
There could be, yeah, 100%, man.
So yeah, it's,
So
it's a strange world.
let's get, yeah, for sure. Let's get into your hearing the dog man that you know was a dog man. Would you say 4 or 5 years ago?
Was the Anubis one?
Yeah, let's get into that, man.
So this one was. It's not even 2 years ago.
Oh wow, it's
So
recent.
it'd be 2 years around the mid to the end of November. So it's where I'm working now, and I was driving around eastern England, like Norfolk, Suffolk, Peterborough, Cambridge, that area. And I'd been down near Ipswich, Woodbridge way, and I was coming back up to Kings Lynn, and I was going from one side of Kings Lynn to the other. I think I was going south to north. I never think directions unless I need to. I just follow the sat nav, it takes where I need to go.
Yeah,
So I'm driving through. I don't know if you know or anyone else knows. Around the area, there's a lot of pig farms, tons and tons of pig farms. And what they do, they rotate them. So this particular day, um, blue skies, sunny. Like I said, even though it was November, it was a night. You'd think it was a summer's day, but till you step out and then you're freezing.
yeah,
So I'm driving up, so going down the bypass and up turning off, did right, and on the sat nav it said unnamed road. But then there's like 2, 3 villages before I got to the village that I needed to get to. So I'm driving along and there's no footpaths, it's typical country road. So you got a bit of grass, and it's like because you're over that part of the country, there's like sand at the side of the roads. It's not proper soil, it's like proper sandy soil.
yeah,
So you got to be careful as you're driving down. Anyway, there's a DPD van coming the other way, so I pulled in a bit. That passed me. Nothing in front of me, nothing behind. It was kind of like I think we're still in like towards the end of lockdown. It still wasn't like it is now.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm
Things were
driving,
still really weird.
yeah. So I'm driving along. So on my right hand side, there's like a load of trees and obviously a field behind it. On my left hand side, there's a pig farm. So as I approach, there's a bit of a bend to the right as I'm driving along. There's an entrance into the field where all these pigs were being kept. As I come round to that bend, so as I'm driving down, I am then looking. Do you know when you have the woods at the side of the road, it starts off at a triangle, then opens up like
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
As I'm coming up to that point, I'm then looking directly into this woods. And because of the time of year it was, the trees were very dry. So there's no flowers, all the leaves are falling off. It's all just like broken twigs and all dead leaves and that on the floor. I just seen something, same thing again, that was like was in high definition compared to what all the trees and natural area that I'm looking at. And I looked and I got a message back, and this is a message I got in my head. Oh shit, he's seen me. Right? Exact words. It wasn't in my voice. It was a message, like mind speak, whatever you want to call it. And I looked straight ahead of me, and I could see from like the lower part of the abdomen upwards what looked like Anubis. At the time, I'm like, oh, I didn't even know. It took me about 10, 15 minutes for reality to kick in. I'd be like, what have you just seen? Did I see it? Is it my mind playing tricks? Did I make it up? Was it, I mean, imagine it. What was it?
Wow.
But the only thing that makes me believe that it was real, so you kind of forget everything else that's going on around you at the time. And like I said, I seen it from the lower abdomen up. So it was black, like proper black, with really dark tan brown. But the tan brown markings were symmetrical. So whatever was on the left shoulder was on the right shoulder. It looked like it had a plate on its chest or something, some sort of uniform. But it was stood, I don't know, yeah, stood like that. Do you know, like you see a bodyguard protecting, say, the president or someone of importance, and you can see that they're waiting for it to kick off and they're going to jump in. It was like that. But it was too thin to be a person in a suit. And I've had this argument as well. Because it had a long, thin neck, what, about 4 inches across. And I couldn't see the length of the snout, didn't see any teeth, but its eyes. And its eyes, I've never seen the colour till then. It was like an orangey, green, yellow colour.
Wow.
If you got orange, green, and yellow, mix them together, and it became a proper colour, not a crappy grey brown colour.
Yeah.
All them 3 colours in one as one proper colour.
Wow.
And its eyes were eye level with me, and then gone, like it was never there.
Well, you saw it disappear.
It was there, then it wasn't there. It's like me, that, and then
Just
it was
gone.
like that. But then the tree, everything was still there. It's like it was guarding something.
Wow.
So,
wow, man.
So I phoned a guy up that I knew, and he goes, "Do you not get out and have a look?" I went, "Are you mad?"
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't know what I'm looking at, and it wasn't. It took me a few hours or a day or so to work out. I did have a feeling it was like an Anubis type Dogman, and that's what I come to the conclusion of. But it was just there. But so, and I've been back past that way a couple of times. I've actually pulled up and got out of the van and took photos of the tree where it stood outside of. And I actually thought the ground was higher than the road, but it's not. And I thought there's a load of like brush and brambles and all that in front of the tree. It's not. I thought that was why I couldn't see it from the waist down. And that's why I was telling everyone. And I went back a few weeks later, and it's like, got it completely wrong. There's nothing in front of it. It hadn't fully materialized for me to see its legs. That's why I couldn't see the lower part of its body.
What?
I know. I don't even know. And then I didn't see it materialize. It was just there. And then it went, "Oh shit, you've seen me." And then poof, gone.
And what would
it had you could see it had a snout. I couldn't tell if it's long or short. And the ears, they weren't at the side of the head. There was like short, it's like a Doberman. And the ears were right on top of the head with like a couple of inch gap between the ears.
Wow.
I know. Like I said, the brown markings on it were symmetrical. So it had like there's one there on the shoulder and neck, and then the opposite side. So I think it was wearing some sort of uniform. Somebody said to me, "Was it not somebody dressed up?" I'm not being funny, but they would struggle getting in a costume like that unless they weighed 2 stone and were like 6 foot tall. And then then they've got to wait there for someone to drive past. This is a village out in the sticks, and then have the ability to completely vanish and have
Yeah.
an eye color that I've never seen before.
Yeah, man, that's too much. Yeah. Wow. Where did you
But,
say was this in Ipswich? Sorry, did you
oh,
say
Kings Lynn.
Kings Lynn?
So as
Okay.
in, so on the left hand side, just before I got to the start of this woods, there's a pig farm. But as I'm carrying on down, on the right hand side, the trees end, and then there's another pig farm that's like 10 times bigger than the one I've just passed. And you've got a farm and the house and the barns and a bit of a garage in that. Then you about, I thought it was further than this, but there's a little village about quarter of a mile, half a mile away. Only a handful of houses, and then nothing again. Then you've got another village.
Yeah.
But there were a few people. There's nobody about, but there are people about in them
Yeah.
villages, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Wow.
It's not
So
the village you want to live in if you want to go out and do stuff.
yeah, yeah,
You've
you're in
not
the
even got a shop. There's no pub. No, it's just a handful of
oh
houses,
wow.
and that's it.
Yeah. So when you heard a voice in your head,
Yeah,
how did that sound? Was that like anything you've heard before?
it wasn't an accent. There was no. It was a male voice. It was just a deep shit. You've seen me. It was like a generic, deep male voice.
Yeah. Wow, man.
That's it.
Have you gone into that area and looked around to see
Yeah,
what
I've
it could have?
been there a few times. I've took photos of parked up, of even stepped into the woods. Nothing.
Yeah.
I've gone doing it coming the other way, driving down that way. I was there probably about a month, 2 months ago, and every time I drive past that bit, nothing there. And
Wow.
I now drive hanging out the window.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So there's nothing that because I'm thinking, is there something that there could be like a tomb there or something that
I
it could
know,
be
but the thing is, the woods aren't even that big. So you got it where it starts at a point and it comes out, so it goes up along the edge of the field adjacent to the one next to it, and then you've got it running long roadside. That's probably only about 100, yards before it stops again.
Yeah.
So I thought if you was to walk around the perimeter of that bit, it's not forest, but bit of woods, only take you 5 minutes. Because someone said, have you looked into the history of it? Could it be like a sacred or what, there's another word they used, I can't remember. But technically, all woods and forests are, because before we started building on it, it was pretty much forests and
Yeah.
fields, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Lakes, rivers, whatever. But the
Yeah.
main like pastures are forests and fields. So it could have been something from thousands of years ago, or it could have been just something there at that time as I were driving past.
Yeah.
But even now, I still think, did I actually see it? I still question myself. I know I did, but I've no way of proving it. But I
Yeah.
know what I've seen, and I know the message that I got.
It's like anything when you see something out of the ordinary like this, like you do question yourself and you
Yeah,
do think, what was that? What could that have been like? But
yeah.
if you've seen
I know
something,
what I've seen.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
But I
man, that's
didn't think
incredible.
my Dogman sighting was going to be 10 seconds. Oh, he's seen me. I'm going. And that was it. Joey, if it, this is what I was saying about the pterodactyl, you expect it to be something more exciting. Like
Yeah.
my first UFO, sat there, looked up at it, put my head back down, looked back at it, gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you take it like that, they're all quite crap and boring.
Yeah. But nice. I find
I
it
know,
amazing,
but
man.
just to see them, and like I said, when I tell what happened, I'm reliving it. I'm picturing it in my head as I'm telling it. I think that's a better way, and then people listening get a better perspective of how it was seen,
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
rather than just it was stood in front of a tree in the woods as I drove past.
Yeah. That's amazing though, man.
No, so
So
it's literally black and brown, and then the eye color.
so this was wearing like a uniform basically.
I'd say so. Yeah, it had some sort of garment on.
Because you do get a lot of people that say the dog man, some of these could be like either from another world, another planet, whatever,
Yeah,
or it could be another race that we've created, like a super soldier?
Yeah.
Is it something
But
like that?
and the thing is, around that area, there are a lot, as you probably know, a lot of military bases,
Yeah,
used and unused, because there's a lot
yeah.
of US, UK shared bases around there. So, and
Interesting,
then
man.
you've got the ones we don't know about.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's what I mean with these. Like when people say about Area 51, now I know it. Area 51, there is probably a lot of crazy stuff that goes on there. But
Yeah.
I feel like if it was that crazy, they wouldn't tell you. You wouldn't know about it. You know what I mean? That you're
No.
not going to know. Oh, there's Area 51. That's where everything happens. They're going to want you looking at that, thinking we
Yeah.
want to get in
Well, the
there.
other stuff's going on somewhere else.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we're never going to know where these things happen.
No. But
That's so interesting, man.
I have a theory because a lot of these air bases or military bases facilities are built in the most peculiar area you can think of. What if the government or whoever these agencies know about these entrances, these cave entrances that are scattered around the world? How can we control that without the human population getting involved? Tell you what, we'll build a government facility that's Ministry of Defence
Yeah.
that no one can that you have to have our authorization to get in and out of.
Yeah.
To me, that's the best way of controlling it. If you
Yeah.
build that over the entrance to these cave systems or tunnels, if that is what's going on, that's how you do it.
Yeah. Because
And that's
no
why you've
one,
got them scattered about here, there, and everywhere.
yeah, no one other than the military, and even some people in the military are probably not going to know about it. But
Oh, there's only a handful of people that know what's what in there.
yeah,
But that's my theory is that they've built these facilities on top so they can have full so there's their own disclosure without telling us anything.
yeah, interesting, man.
Yeah.
Wow,
So
that's another awesome experience.
that's probably I've had a couple of little bits obviously since then, but that was the last major one.
Yeah, wow, man. With the legs, you said that they weren't formed.
It's it,
Was
nothing.
so you
It's
saw?
literally, I guess, from the belly button upwards. But I thought it must have been stood behind something,
Yeah,
and it was 2 weeks later that I passed it, and I thought I need to get out because I need to know for myself. I'm like, oh, there's quite shocked because I thought, oh, there's nothing there, and it's level with the road. But so the van that was in and the height of its eyes, we were pretty level as I was coming around this bend, and the eye level must be around about 6 foot because it's a
okay.
van that you've got to climb up to get into.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm 5'10", so I reckon it's about 6'2", 6'4", the eye level. So you're
Wow.
looking about 6.5 foot.
Yeah. So this thing was a big creature as well.
Yeah,
Wow, man.
wasn't bulky, but you could see the muscles in it.
Yeah, yeah. I'd like to get down there and have a look around, see if there's
Yeah.
any. I mean,
I have got the location. Like I said, I took photos and I found it on Google Maps and what have you. So I do know how to get there.
yeah,
So I
we'll have to
think
go, man. We'll have to have
that's
a
going to be a
field trip.
stay over investigation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because you're not that far from there, are you?
I'm not
Really?
that far. No, no, I'm not
Probably a
far. A
couple of
few
hours,
hours.
same as
Yeah,
me.
yeah, man.
Yeah, we can arrange something.
Yeah, let's get down there.
Told the missus that I'm going out doing something. She goes, "Yeah, that's fine. Just let me know. I'm not coming with you."
We're out looking for Anubis this weekend.
Yeah. Well, I
Wow,
just
man.
want to go and have a walk around the village and what have you.
Yeah, yeah. See if anyone else has ever seen anything like that.
Yeah.
Or interesting, man.
Questions about.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I
Wow.
thought, well, was it there to feed because you got the pig farms? Would it be
Yeah,
that? But then I thought, if it wanted to feed, it'd just go anywhere anyway. It wouldn't need to show itself.
yeah, yeah,
But I think it's proof that they don't, that they are capable of the invisibility cloak
yeah,
of some
yeah.
sort.
This thing disappeared in front of you.
Yeah. and I only
Interesting, mate.
seen it from the waist up. But if it, I don't think if I hadn't have got that message, I probably would have thought, oh, it's just like the lighting or the branches or something.
So how
But
long did the seeing it? How long did that last for? Would you say?
about 5, 6 seconds. So as
Wow.
I'm approaching, I thought, as I'm coming down and just before the bend, I'm like, there's something there. But obviously, I didn't realize what it was till I got closer. I
Yeah.
thought there's something in front of that tree because I'm always looking when I'm out and about anyway, just to see that one thing. And
Yeah.
I got a lucky shot on this one. And as the road started to bend, it wasn't a big bend, but as it started to bend to the right, that was when I become like straight level, like we're sat now.
Yeah.
And that was when I got the message. And that's when I seen
Wow.
what it was. And then before I come out the bend, it had gone.
Wow, man.
It was weird.
Have you spoken to anyone else that has seen anything similar to that with the suit on?
Not, I've not personally spoke to anyone, but I've heard of accounts where there's some sort of uniform, or even the eye color. That eye color is very popular, but it's not even a color that it's not a color that exists in our spectrum,
Yeah.
and that was weird. I don't know how I could see that.
Interesting.
It's like, you know, where you got the highlighter pens.
Yeah.
Imagine having a green and orange one, but it's both them colors at the same time
Yeah.
without them being separate colors. That's the only way I can explain it.
And were they sort of glowing the eyes?
There was, yeah, there was a sort of like a backlight to them.
Wow. Wow, man.
Yeah, and then gone, just like as quick as I seen it, gone again.
Yeah. And this was like a solid form.
Yeah, from what I could see, it was, yeah.
Yeah. So cool, man. Do you
But
notice how?
it didn't dissolve or mist out or blend or anything. It was just solid, then nothing. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's cool, man. I was going to say our internet connection's gone a little bit funny, so I feel like they know we're talking about stuff we
Yeah.
shouldn't be
Oh,
talking
I
about.
get it every Friday. Don't worry about it.
You start saying certain things, you're like, "Whoa, let's mess this up."
Yeah, I'm
Wow.
sure I'm being tapped.
Oh,
Hold
mate,
on.
we're definitely our names are out there. We got they got folders on us for
Yeah,
sure.
well, that was another thing that I got was from that remote viewing that I'm being
Yeah,
monitored, but not government. Well, I'm going to start saying agency.
yeah.
It's not agencies that are monitoring me. So I've been told.
Okay, yeah. So that's extraterrestrial.
Possibly.
Interesting stuff, man.
It is.
Andy,
It's
this is
exciting and
yeah.
scary, and
That's why we love it.
yeah.
And this has been absolutely awesome, man.
No, I thank you for letting me come on again.
No, I appreciate you coming on. And
Love
this,
chatting with you.
yeah, man, we always have a great chat. And this is not the last time you'll be on the show, that's for sure. You're welcome on Let's Get Freaky anytime, man.
Oh, nice one. Cheers for that.
Do you
And
want to?
same goes.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. Do you want to tell the audience where they can find you and your show?
Yeah, so now I've got the website, which is a lot. It's still a little bit. I need to update it, but the technical issues with it. But it's andydecodes.com. So literally, if you type that, it's all one word. You don't have to
Yep.
do the HTTPS and the www. You don't have to bother with any of that. Just go on Google, type in andydecodes.com, and do the website, YouTube. So I've got the website, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook group, which is a 12th dimension,
Yep.
Instagram. I've got Instagram now, and I'm on LinkedIn.
Awesome.
My podcasts go out on. I was using Podbean, but I'm now using PodServe. It's just better, and it's a guy that I used to use before, and they're based in America, so I'm hitting that side which is what I want to do more than the UK. Oh, everywhere, but
Yeah.
the American audience.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So I'll do the YouTube. That's going to be on a Friday. So a few changes coming up towards the end of the year. It's still going to be the same thing, but as I was saying to you, I'm doing the new podcast, which is it's still Andy D codes, but this is called Eyes Only. I've only just got it put together. Did 2 trial shows of it yesterday and the day before, just to. So I think if you're going to do a trial, you need to do a live trial. There's no point
Yeah.
doing it and point out. You need live feedback.
You got to do it
What
properly.
works, what doesn't work. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
did a couple of them. Got the name for it from one of the viewers. Managed to do the intro video and do the final edit on that. Get the logo for that, and then put it all together. So what we're going to be doing is people are going to send in images or videos, whether it's ones that they've got of their own, what people have sent them. They've got it off another platform. Send it to me, not a link. It needs to be the actual original or a copy of the original. Send them to me. I'll put them on, and we'll look at it and decide what we think it is. Not if it's. We're not trying to work out if it's fake or if there's anyone trying to blag it or BS or anything like that. Not trying to dig anyone out or they'll ridicule them on air,
Yeah.
and none of that stuff. It's like if you sent a picture, it's like I'll tell you what I think it is, and then the viewers they'll tell you what they think it is. And those that are
Awesome.
watching it back, they can always just go in the comment section and put in there what they think, and that's it. So it's a
Awesome,
quick
man.
25, 30 minutes. Worked out it's better to do it live. Like as you know, I've said before, I prefer to do live than
Yeah. Dangerous.
pre-recorded. It's more exciting. I think
Yeah, it's cool, man.
pre-recorded. I know this is pre-recorded, but it's a live
Yeah.
recording.
Yeah. What you see is what you get. Yeah.
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 So to me, I'm doing this live. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
So, but if you do a pre-record, you can stop and it gets boring. It's like reading a book. No offense to authors, but it is like reading a book.
Yeah.
I want
Yeah. I know you
the
mean. It's
excitement
exciting
and
doing
the
it live. It is.
adrenaline
It
and
is.
the
It's a
rush of
different
it
ball
all.
game. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
And
different ball game doing it live.
I can't. I've got no notes in front of me.
Yeah.
I've literally got that to
Yeah.
retax my car today. That's the only bit of paper.
You better do
I've
that,
got.
man.
Done it. 20
You've
seconds
done it.
done.
Oh,
Yeah.
bosh. Good
That's the only
man.
bit of paper I've got in front of me.
Yeah.
So I just go with whatever's been spoken about. And I think
Yeah.
that is the best way. That's the best way for me. And that's what I enjoy.
Yeah, man. Well, it's awesome what you do, man. I highly recommend
Thank
everyone
you.
go over there, check your stuff out, man, because it is awesome.
Cheers. Do appreciate that.
Andy, thank you very much, sir, and I look forward to having you back on soon.
Yeah, definitely. Just give me a shout and we'll get started. And thank you everyone for listening and those that do come and watch me and listen and join in and join the groups and what have you. And if you don't, fair enough. No one's forcing you to. Not yet.
That's your
Not yet.
loss. That's your loss.
Cheers.
Thank you very much, sir.